to block you. You know, when I'm talking, I'm like blocking everybody, you know. I have to remind myself not to do that. Okay. All right, so remember the triangles
Yes.
that we talked about Tuesday? Okay. So when you practice on your own, you always remember you are sitting, standing on top of that triangle. And you want to turn your body also into a pyramid. Okay, so the triangle, this shape, is very important in John, because if we take the drywalls away, you see these 2x4s this way rather than vertical, because that's the most structural positions. Okay, and I don't know if you guys ever been to Chicago. There's a building. I was on the building. It swayed. Right? Because it's very windy. Okay? But if you go outside, look at the building, you see the zigzag steel bars along the sides of the building. That's how they make sure that it yields to the forces of the wind, but it doesn't break or collapse. So the triangle shape is a very important shape in our system. Okay? From the way you hold your hand out, like this, triangle, okay, because that way it's very, very a lot of times people will like in Japanese art, Aikido, they will do a demonstration where they demonstrate the unbendable arm. Okay, so the person will hold out his arm, and the other person is going to try to bend it. It's very hard to bend when you're this angle. You can be as relaxed as you can, right? The person just can't bend it. Okay. They call it key, you know. It may be, but on the other hand, it's that triangle, which is so structured, okay? And we want to turn the body into that triangular shape, which ultimately becomes the pyramid. So you basically, when we move that pyramid back and forth. Okay, very good. All right, so go over the first movement is called lift, right? And the second is sink. Then, as you bend, you want to make sure the hips go out, so the upper body kind of slanted like so. Okay, you feel all the pressure gone from your lumbar area, lower back. Right? So this is undesirable. See the butt sticking out. You want the hip to go this way. Okay, and the third movement is called open, and the fourth is close. Right now you're pigeon toed. Okay, so your feet actually form that triangle. Okay? Both your toes are pointing to the same point of the pyramid. All right, very good. And as you want to make sure that you are not top-heavy, and the distance between your feet inside of your heel are about your shoulder level. So you look in the mirror, you actually see. Okay, you can't see yourself, right? Can you see yourself? No. You can't. Oh, you can. There you go. All right. So actually, what you want to see it like this: the tip of the pyramid. All right. There you go. That's good. And now imagine someone placed an exercise ball between your knees. You want to kind of clinch it. Right. So you want to think about concave the chest, relax the shoulders, okay, and then push out your hips, and then clinch your knees. So your upper body from the hip up is relaxed, and from the hip down is tension. Okay. And then now locate your center line. You have a zipper, that's exactly where it's located.
Okay.
Right? Then imagine the center line entering the body and exits the other side. Now turn that line into a plane, which separates the body into two equal halves. Okay? You have the left half and right half. Now put the upper body in that box we talked about yesterday, Tuesday. So you see, we already have one vertical line right here. Okay? You add two more lines. So you have three vertical lines. Then you have three horizontal lines. 1, 2, and 3. That, by doing so, these 6 lines create 4 boxes of equal size. Okay, so you have a left upper box and a left lower box. You have a right upper box and a right lower box because it's dimensional. So you have the front is right here, the side, your shoulders, the top, your head. Okay, same vertical line extends out. Extends out. All the vertical lines and horizontal line extend your line on top. Okay, I mean, that's the only box that I can think of people lying, right? Right? But you notice the top, it doesn't go like this. There's some space in between. Okay, so that space is that dividing line between getting hit and not getting hit. Okay. As we move on, eventually another concept will be introduced called 7 stars. That line is sitting on that center star. Okay, let me just quickly bring it up. Okay, whenever you stand, whether in a vertical stance or horizontal stance, you have 3 stars underneath you. 1 under each foot, and 1. Yes, that's where your center line is. Okay, that's your center of gravity. He also has 3. 1, 2, and 3, and the 2 of you share 1 in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, so he has 3 stars, you have 3 stars, which is 6. Then you share 1. That 1 is so important because that's when it's a matter of getting him or not getting him. When he moves forward, if you move back, you simply move the center star. But he moves forward, you don't, then he enters into your airspace. Okay, this is where you share. Okay, so think about it. Okay, and because of it's a dimensional box, it has corners, right? Corners right in front of you. We don't care about behind us. It's too late. They already got me. So what do I think about, right? I don't want to think about these corners. I'm thinking about corners formed by 2 sides, the top and the front. So these 2 corners, which is right here and here, and then also these 2 corners formed by the side, the front, and the top, and the bottom. Okay. So these 2 full corners on the bottom, and these corners on top. Okay. So the simplicity of Wing Chun is that we are given a set of concepts. By following the concepts, it's an easier way to learn because we don't have to memorize techniques, right? We don't start collecting on a daily basis. How many things I collect today, right? But instead, how do I understand the concept? How well do I understand it? By understanding the concept, then you're able to figure things out. So right now we're saying we have these 4 boxes. The reason we created them because these represent the part of the bodies, right? Upper gate and lower gate. Okay. Because the Chinese use the gates to represent the body parts. Okay. So if you use your hips or your waist as your dividing line, the upper body is considered the upper gate. The lower body is considered lower gate. And the reason they call them gates is because in the old days in China, you have a not patio, but rather what do you call them? It's a space between your main house and the outside world.
Courtyard.
Yeah. But because in the farming communities, this is where they dry their crop and they okay. There's a long way between. Okay, so eventually, when martial artists think that okay, my body is the house. Okay, when someone breaks through my gates, they can invade my house. Okay, so that concept is transferred into martial arts. So I want to keep my gates open, closed. They don't want them to break through, right? Okay, so upper gate and lower gate. That's all. It's a right? It's only used in Chinese martial arts, not in Japanese or Korean or Okinawan. Okay, it's because the cultural aspect. Okay, I'm Chinese as well. I was born and raised in Taiwan. All right. So now the center line comes in. When we defend our center line. That's the first thing we were introduced to. And when we attack, we want to attack his center line. So So the line cutting concept, which I mentioned Tuesday, becomes meaningful. He has a line, okay, which is the center of the body. Now, if I cut it any way, I'm cutting his body, right? Same thing, he's going to do the same to me. So I want to protect my center line. So when he comes at me, his arms and legs are going to create lines. Okay. And as I mentioned Tuesday, there are only two kinds of lines, either straight or curved. Straight, obviously, curved like this. Okay. And by understanding these two lines, you can pretty much understand what everybody's doing. It doesn't matter how they call the technique. Okay. So some Chinese martial arts have these names like, tiger exit mountains, or crane seeking, whatever, it's very beautiful, very poetic, right? But you say that's just excessive. I don't need to do that. I'm just saying, he's using a straight line approach, a circular line approach, okay? So you don't get sucked into that, okay? Right? So I always say my mission in life is to demystify Kung Fu. They always all come from China. Well, it must be something. Okay, are they humans? Yes, okay, then. They cannot do anything that you couldn't do. It doesn't matter, you're from the Philippines, from Vietnam, from Thailand, China, doesn't matter. You're humans, you're going to use the same movements. You cannot create a third kind of line. Okay? So it makes you really comfortable in not, okay, I'm not excluding anybody. Okay? Whether you're boxing, whether you're doing taekwondo, it doesn't matter. You're still using those two lines. Okay? All right. So first, we're gonna, like we did yesterday with Aaron, not yesterday, Tuesday. We are using curved lines to defend against a straight line. Okay? We're assuming he's coming straight at me because if I don't move, this is the most efficient way for him to get to me. Right? Because 2 points, straight line is the quickest way to get to, right? Between the 2 points, a straight line, right? Right? So you're standing here and say he's coming to attack my center line, aiming at me. Again, if you aim anywhere else besides the center line, it's only a partial impact because your body's going to turn once it gets hit. But if it's right on the center line, you're going to absorb it 100%. So we don't care if it's anything outside the center line. We're just going to say, okay, that's the center line, I'm going to cut it. Right. So we're using this curved line to cut it. So the first one is called hansa. Hansa just means palm facing up. Okay. Eventually you have to do something called gansa. Just cut it, palm facing down. Because we follow the rules, the laws of the big brother. If you have palm up, you palm down. That's how simple it is. Then, by always consulting him and understanding his laws, his mandates, right, you will not, you will immediately figure out you get away from memorizing techniques because in Wing Chun, even a lot of people who practice Wing Chun tend to memorize techniques. So they'll show you, if you say, what's a buji? Okay, buji means a shooting beam. Okay, they'll say, it's buji, okay? Right? And then you say, is this buji? You say, no, it's not buji. Bu is too dark to shoot. Okay? It describes the movement. It does not confine. You know what I'm saying? It is so you can shoot anywhere you like. You shoot this way, shoot this way. And we say if you shoot out your fingers with your palm facing down, then you can shoot. They'll say it's a concept. Okay? Because they think the shape is the technique rather than the concept. The concept of shooting can be done anything. I can shoot this way, shoot this way, this way, this way, right? And as long as I use the action of shooting out, and it doesn't matter what shape your hands are, right? Okay. So from the get-go, we get away from memorizing the techniques. Okay. Granted, a lot of people are still stuck in the dark ages, still trying to memorize. We just say there are certain shapes that we do. we have to memorize the shapes. And then what you do with the shapes, it's up to you, right? Remember, I use this phrase all the time, intentions drive actions. Depending on what you want to do with that shape, the same shape he can use as a defense, you can also use it as an offense. Sure. Anything you do can be dual purpose. That's the whole purpose of the symbol. We have to immediately figure out, how do I use that as a defense when someone shows me as an offense? Okay. So right now we're using tansao, this shape, as a defense. Eventually we can use it as an offense, right? The mind drives it. Okay. It's very simple. We just say this is an arm in this shape. It's just a matter of what part of the arm am I focusing on. If I focus on the wrist, then it's defense. If I focus on the fingertip, then it's an offense. Okay? Do you see? So from this statement, you can see my approach is a world apart from everybody else's. Because everybody else says, okay, tansao is only for defense. When you do this, it's called something else. Okay? So this is not a tansao, but same shape. Okay. Now my focus shifted to here now, rather than here or here. Okay, but it's the same shape. It's at your disposal. Right. Very good. So the reason I mention that is because I don't want you to pigeonhole tansao and limit its use to say tansao is only for defense. That's what everybody thinks. Right now we're using this shape called tansao as defense. In a circular way. Eventually, it can be a linear way. Okay? Sure. All right. Okay. So, we get back to our stance. Okay? Lift. Sink. Hips out. Open. Close. Good. Now, locate your center line. Okay? See the line entering your body from the top and extend a line forward and backwards and turn it into a plane so you see your left half and the right half. Now the line is extending infinitely out. Okay. Now imagine another line, a straight line coming at your center line. Okay. Remember, when you defend, you are cutting his attacking lines. So when someone attacks you, he's using his limbs to create a line, whether he realizes it or not. It doesn't matter. It's still there. Okay. All right. Okay, so imagine this straight line coming in, and you'll cut it with your arm. Your arm is creating a circular line. So you see this line coming from here, going slightly beyond the center line to the other side, and then end at your destination, which is your left upper corner. Okay, upper left corner. Stop. Good. And because you're inside a box, there's an invisible wall right here. That's the side. And your arm should not go beyond that. So in your mind, you see these two sides. You are in this form-fitting box. You can't extend it. It's right here. It's tailor-made just for you. Right? So you do it has to stop right here. You are unable to go outside the box. Okay? So that's what you're thinking. Okay? So only the left side. Okay? And we want to always do something like this. You take off where you left off. If your hand is here, you don't want to go anywhere else. So this is undesirable because you're not taking off where you left off. Okay, that's for one reason only: efficiency. Nothing is more efficient than just go from where you are, rather than most people do. They want to hit it like this. That's not efficient because your hand's right here. You go from there, right? You go. Well, because they want to bring the fist as far away from the target so they drag it in to accelerate, okay, in order to get that big power punch, right? And we can produce the same amount of power and more by using joints, which we'll discuss later on, okay? Because we always have to think about this is conceived in the mind of a woman. We have to always remember that. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose to do things like this, right? So she was little, she's weaker than the guys her size, she has to develop something very scientific. From develop a lot of power within a very short distance, which is entirely possible, not it's prized. Okay? All right? So I want to repeat the left side, okay? When I say repeating, this is another concept. Just saying this is called a repeating concept. When you use the same limb to do more than once, then you're repeating. Or you using the same approach, like attacking again and again. That's repeating, okay? So right now we're defending using a curved line against a straight line and touching the corner. Not too low, or not too high. That's why mirrors are. So you can see, you can make adjustment, okay? So I'll count, okay? Okay. 1. Right, and you come back to trace that line. Right. 2. Very good. Very good. 3. 4. Beautiful. 5. 6. 7. A little higher. There you go. Okay. 8. Nice. 9. More. 10. Very good. There you go. Okay. The thumb. Okay. You don't want to do this or do this. You just want to tuck it in a little so that there's no protruding part. Because you do this and get, whoever plays basketball, how many times you get all the time, right? So you don't want that in the middle of a conflict, right? The purpose is to damage him, not yourself, right? So you want to do everything you can just to tuck it in slightly, rather than this or this, just in between, halfway in between. Yeah.
Not flexing, but just.
Yeah, just tuck it in, right? Yeah. And you don't want to curve fingers, right? So just straight. Just straight. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Okay? Right now we're going to repeat the right side. Same thing. See the line? Come back and forth. Okay. 1. Okay? Right. And remember, you're cutting, when you practice by yourself, you're cutting your self-center line. Since you don't have an opponent actually throw punches at you, so here's my center line, my self-center line. I'm cutting it. So you actually see cutting. You cut with this part of the wrist, okay? You're going to go over to the other side of the center line slightly, okay? And come back. 2. Right. And back, okay? So you're doing this, right? You see this, you just cut and come back, okay? And 4. Good. 5. Right. At this stage, you want to do it slowly and deliberately. 6. And you feel that invisible wall stopping you. 7. 8. Good. 9. 10. Very good. Okay? Now we're going to switch to the other concept, which is called switching. Alright? Switch just means from limb to limb, left to right, okay? So we'll start with the left, okay? See those same lines, okay? 1. Good. And feel that hitting the wall, okay? And then right hand. 2. Good. 3. 4. 5. Good. 6. 7. 8. 9. Good. And 10. Very good. Okay, take a break. We work with Justin for a bit. All right, so we were working on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Yeah, what we're working on.
Hey, you're
Getting there, huh?
yeah, it's like I can see the effects of your workout, right? Yeah. Cool. Relax a little hand. That's right. Stop. Okay. You see, this is why, you know, a lot of people would say, Lee, I've been here over a year now. Why am I still doing the same things? Right?
Repetition.
And I said, I'm sorry, but there's nothing else to learn. It was very frustrating because, come on, Lee, show me the advanced technique. Right? I've done this for so long now, show me the advanced techniques. I said, you are learning the advanced techniques. Okay, so remember the tansa, okay? Right? See, it's all about the depth, right? So now if you look at me and Justin's doing it, you see tansa right away. Tansa. Okay? Okay, so that's why it is not the width of your knowledge, but rather the depth. The nice thing, the best thing about Wing Chun is there's only this little knowledge. And that's the best part. You don't have to occupy, like constantly accumulate it. It's just a few pieces. But we know those pieces better than anybody else on earth. I don't need to know 100 ways to attack. I just need to know one. Right? Because the concept allows you to have many things come out of that one thing. That one thing is what I call roots, or baseline, if you will. You know, I always use mammography as an example. Okay, women go, you know, once a year, because first time she goes there, the doctors will take a baseline. Everything else is compared to that. How do they know there's abnormalities? Oh yeah, well this is a year ago, now I see something different. They just compare, right? Without that baseline, how do we know this is abnormal? It's the same thing. So when we have the roots, then the roots will grow into a tree and branches and flowers. Okay, so from that one thing, many things will come out of that. But those things you don't have to memorize because you know it came from the same root. Okay? Yeah, that's all. Okay? Put out the same amount of energy. Okay, let me get you guys some water. You got water?
Yeah, I'm good. Actually, I'm low.
You're low?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Thank you, sir.
And before you go home, this is perfect because you can practice each other. I'll show you a drill. You can do practice training. Okay?
We have water.
We have water for that.
Oh, sure.
She'll make me share with her.
Okay. No problem. Okay.
I still want that.
Yeah.
Wash this hand here like that.
Right. Basically, it's just like you're relaxed. That's why it's causing that
Okay.
hands to tremble like that. Right. Yeah.
I want to feel that.
But you're constantly, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
yes.
Because every time you do this, you are,
Yes, what you got.
yeah, exactly. So you want to feel that you can do that. But if you do only half,
Right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Switch. Switch. So this is about the right speed. Sometimes I see you guys kind of speed a little bit, but you have control.
Right.
It doesn't matter how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Use the next, you slow down.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the beauty. No matter how fast it goes, you can control that. the way down. All the way up, all the way down. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now you want to attack with your top hand in the shape of a fuchsia. It's like this. 1, 2. Okay, and you're using your left. Yes.
Just the top hand.
Just the top hand for now. Yes. Okay. Top hand. Okay. So this is what I call the transition. You're going from attacking to neutral, but you still have to put out that neutral full energy. Because the other guy can take advantage of that. As you transition from attacking to neutral, first you want to put down that energy. Okay. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay, now, tap with the bottom hand still fuchsia. Yep. This is still forward, yeah. You want to go from time? Yeah. What you did wasn't wrong. You can also go yin yang, yeah. But you have to be very clear. It's not an accident, but rather on purpose. Yeah. Yeah. Full time. Make sure your time is full time rather than half.
Okay.
Because that way you can really see the jing.
Right.
Yeah, because you already have here, then it's still there, not as much. Yeah, but if you go from here, full, yeah, a lot of jing. Good. This is really a self-discovery because today you realize I'm only focusing on one arm, forgot the other, which is a tendency what most people do. It's just we realize that's the area we need to shore up. That's all.
Makes sense.
All right, very good. All right. Now, face each other, please. And this is the way we determine the safety distance. You touch each other's shoulders. Right, like that. Good. And then you, from here, you go into your trailing stance. All right? Sink. Open. Close. Now you can extend fully without touching. Well, because yes, exactly. Okay. So immediately, this allows you to understand. Without moving an inch, you already gain distance. For example, if I may, right now, I'm standing with my weight in the middle. Now, right? So I'm doing this, right? He can touch me, right? Now watch. That's all I'm doing, right? It's a matter of touching and not touching. That makes a huge difference in a real situation. Sure. Right? So the idea is make him reach. You don't want to offer your chin.
You
Is
want
it?
to extend.
Exactly. If you want this, you have to come into reach, okay? And this timing and distancing are the keys to self-defense. Because we understand that from where he is to where I am now, he can't reach me with his arms or legs. This is what we call fourth distance, the fourth range. Okay? The fourth range is neither partner can reach the other partner with arms or legs. The third distance is you can touch each other with legs. Okay, and then the punching and the cheese out of the grappling range, okay? So right here, in order to get to me, he has to come to me, right? If he comes to me,
You see it.
I have time to react. If you're trained to think this way, then we're given the concept of different ranges of weapons. On our body, the upper body have 3 ranges of weapons. Long range, which is your hand, okay, attached to the wrist. Medium range is the elbow, short range is the shoulder. Okay? So you can use all these joints as weapons. And that's the whole, right? You don't have to say, I'm this close to him now. No, but I'm always trying to think this. So what do I do? I'm doing this. How many times do you see fights like that? Because they only think about their hand. They were not taught to think elbow as a weapon, or shoulder as a weapon, right? But boxers instinctively know how to do that. This is called what they call dirty boxing.
Yeah.
So you see one boxer will crowd the other guy into a corner, and then he'll do this because he's not allowed to grab, right? So as he goes, he does behind. So in the blind spot, the referee cannot see, but he just showed it to bump him. Okay, so shoulder is used as close range weapon. Elbow is medium range. Hand is long range. Likewise, on your lower gate, you have three ranges of weapon. Foot is the hand. Knee is the elbow. Hip is the shoulder. If you can bump with your shoulder, you can bump it. If you can elbow someone, you can knee someone. Okay? So now I'm right here, and he's come towards me. I use the long range because so he comes in to punch, right? Before this punching can get to me, I can land a kick because my leg is longer. That is the knowledge, power of knowledge. You don't go, oh, hey, you have a long range weapon. Before he can reach you, you got to reach. See, you only reached him. That's just like I showed you yesterday, Tuesday. Someone grabs you, people panicked. Don't panic. You have other hand, just him. Yeah. Right? It's the same thing. He punches. Okay, it's not a fair trade for him. He is using his longest weapon against my longest weapon, but my longest weapon is longer than his. Well, unless Justin is 7 feet tall, then his arms will be longer than my leg. Then I run. Right? Okay? This is not a fair fight, right? The guy is twice my size, you know. So each check you go. Throw an arm, like, you know, no matter how good I think I am, I'm going to run, right? But this is called learning and fighting intelligently. Conceived from the mind of a woman. I'm not going to, she's always thinking, I'm an egg, he's a rock. I'm never going to go with this. I'm always going to lose. So I'm going to fight intelligently. By conserving my energy, make my defense very little energy, make my offense a lot of energy. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So after you face each other, right? Good. Now you are doing exactly the same thing as you did before. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hips out. Good. Right. Now you are going to do a concept called matching. Okay. There's the inside matching and the outside matching. I'm not going to go into that. There's too many concepts thrown at the same time. But you notice it's a common theme. It's always meaning. If there's inside matching, there's outside matching. If there's inside shadowing, there's outside shadowing. That's how simple it is. Once you understand this, it's easy. When he says matching, oh, there's a shadow. When the inside, there's the outside. When there's top, there's the bottom. When the left, there's the right. That's just how simple it is. Okay? All right. So you're going to actually use this part of your arm to make contact with your partner. Okay, so you both going to use the left side. Okay. So yeah. So you are coming to reach this corner, and you're coming to reach this corner, but neither one of you will get there because you're going to connect. So you end up doing this. Yeah. Oh. Yes, that's it. Okay. But because it's a drill, it's not a fight. So basically, you cancel out each other. Okay. So we're just going to do the left side. Okay. Ready? 1. Yes. And 2. Only left side. We're repeating.
That's not.
Right. Okay. So just okay. So we're gonna do it with you. Okay. So you can see. Okay. All right. So we're left side. Okay. 3. Right. And come back. 4. Right. 5. So basically now you are actually hitting something. It's a simulation, and you get to know, oh, this area is where I made contact with his arm, okay? 5. Good. 6. And you're also conditioning your arm. 7. Good. 8. 9. Good. 10. Very good. Okay, now switch to the right side. Same thing. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Very good. Now we're going to do switching. Left, right, okay? Start with the left. 1. And turn. 2. 3. Good. 4. 5. 6. 7. Tuck your thumb in. 8. 9. 10. Very good, thank you. Okay, so you have, you can practice, okay, as often as you like. So let me briefly introduce the matching and shadowing concept. Now look at yourself in the mirror. See, this person represents, okay? So now point at yourself with your left hand. See? That's his right. Okay? Okay. When you point at him with your right, that's his left. Okay? So, this is what in Kung Fu they call shadow. Because in the old days, there were no mirrors. Okay? The only way to look at it is to look at
The shadow.
Yeah, exactly. If the sun's behind me, it's going to throw a shadow on the ground. So when you point at it, it's actually the shadow way back at you. But with the others, okay? This is where match and shadow comes. Match will be like, if you point at me with your left, with your right, match. Shadow will be left and right. Okay? Match, same arm, opposite.
What we were doing was.
Exactly. So that what you guys were doing is called matching. And you were doing it outside matching. So let me explain why there's an inside gate, outside gate. We know there's upper gate and lower gate. And then there's an inside gate, outside gate. Right now, as you stand with your arms down, there is no such thing as inside gate or outside gate. Only when your arm is raised, then you have a clear distinction between inside and outside.
Oh,
So anything inside your arm is considered inside gate. Anything outside your arm is considered your outside gate. Since we have both arms, this is considered inside gate, and this is considered the outside gate. You can attack him, or he can attack you from the inside gate or from the outside gate. Okay. So what you guys were doing is called outside matching. Okay, because you see, your right hand, my right hand, we're outside each other. Okay? This concept is important because you can attack, he can attack you this way or this way, right? Before this, right? This way or this way, depending on, well, that's what a hook is all about. See, the box is doing this, right? So you can throw a jab, which is right here, you can throw a hook. That's the outside gate approach, inside gate approach, okay? So that's why when you understand this, you understand exactly what people are doing. To them, it's just a hook, because they memorize the technique. We say, he's just attacking from the outside gate, your outside gate, my outside gate, or in my inside gate. Which makes learning so much easier once you understand the concept, okay? So, now, if he used say a hook like this, okay? And I use a defense like this. We are matching on the inside, see? Inside. This is outside. Because depending on how he throws his punches, sometimes I need to defend on the inside gate or the outside gate. All depends on which limb do I use. So he throws a straight punch at me. Okay? I can either use the outside gate approach or the inside gate approach. Right? Or if I use the other hand, inside, outside. Okay. So anytime he throws a punch, if it's a linear approach, you have four choices. Inside shallow, this is the shallow, right? Inside shallow, outside shallow. Inside match, outside match.
I see, okay.
Okay? Don't worry about this. I'm just, this just, eventually this
I'm
is
just starting to get it through my
more-
thick skull, it's okay.
It is, well, because most people, 99.9% of people who are learning martial arts don't learn this way.
Yeah.
Okay, now, this is a strike, okay? What can never be a defense. This is a defense, right? It can never be an offense. You say everything you do is about that. It depends on what you want to do with it.
Okay.
It's just a shape.
Okay, attention.
Right, so you have the inside gate, outside gate. So, inside gate, match or shallow. Outside gate, match or shallow. Why is that? Yin yang, yin yang, right? If you have inside gate, there's the outside gate. If you have upper gate, lower gate. If you can attack from the inside, you can attack the outside. You can match, you can shallow. Right? Okay, very good. So now, we're going to set it aside, okay? I want to move on to the most basic punch. The basic punch. The punching, we do everything that other people do. But the primary punch, what I call the basic or reference punch, is a vertical punch, which is, unless people study Kung Fu, most martial arts outside of Chinese Kung Fu styles don't use the vertical punch. They tend to use the horizontal punch. Whether it's boxing or karate, okay, they all use horizontal punch. Very, very rarely you see anybody who's not practicing Kung Fu and using vertical punch. Vertical punch is what I just mentioned before. You can create tremendous power, that explosion, by using very short distance. We all seen Bruce Lee's demonstration of Wing Chun, okay? Now, Wing Chun came from Wing Chun. Without Wing Chun, there's no such thing. Now, remember Tuesday I mentioned we all have 6 joints on each side of our body. By linking the joints together, creates a chain reaction. Okay. We are going to talk about the lower gate joints. We're just going to concentrate on one arm, 3 joints. Okay. When you throw the punch, most people think of the fist, right? This is where, exactly, so I want this in your face. I want to move as far away. I create that velocity, that formula, something, mass, times this, times, so that's all right. So that's the conventional thinking. The Wing Chun punch is very unconventional because it doesn't take the distance into, actually it does. It's just the way we look at the distance is different. It's because most people say, this is my fist. Okay? This is my distance. It's not enough. So I want to increase the distance. Right? That's the why. But simplicity is totally defined simplicity. 1, 2, 3. You say 1, right? Okay. Now, when you link the joints together, then it creates that chain reaction. The first joint we're going to talk about is the wrist. Okay? So, just spread your legs comfortably because I know, unless you send this for a while, it's going to get very uncomfortable. So just spread your legs like that, okay? The first drill we're going to do is to understand and to get familiar with the first joint, the smallest joint on your upper body, is your wrist, okay? So, from here, good. From here, remember right behind you, okay? You can see, right? Raise your arms as well and show sideways like this, okay? So your hand is relaxed, okay? Fingers pointing forward. And you want to, pretend there's a table right here. Oh, there you go. There's a stick that's floating in the air. Your job is to knock that stick down to the floor. in your mind, okay? There's a stick right here, so what I'm doing is this. Now remember there's a stick here, I can do this. I'm hitting that stick by extending my arm, okay? But it comes from this move, this action. Not your elbow, it's the wrist like this. All right, and come back relaxed. So you go back to total relaxation into total tension and relax. As you exert yourself and stiffen your arms, you want to exhale. No different from, okay? No different from lifting weights, okay? So do a bench press. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Should I move it?
No, you're good. You're good. Oh yeah. Yeah. I forgot. This is photo. That's a lot of fun too. Okay. Good. All right. Now remember, keep remembering that stick. Remember, the stick is floating on the surface of the water. You want to hit it, and so it sinks to the bottom, but it flows back. Okay? So you hit it, it comes back. That's how you're repeating through that. Okay? Right? From here. Okay. Fingers relaxed. Right. Like this. Yes. Okay. So you can see there's a curvature right there. Okay? Rather than this way. Yeah, like that. Right. Exactly. Right? And you straighten it out, but helping the hand up and extending your arms at the same time like this. Right, so your arms are straight, right? And come back to bent position and relax. 2, hit the stick and bring it up. 3, right. Feel it, see that stick sinking to the bottom from the force, and then rising up again. 4, and inhale. 5, exhale, inhale. 6, right. Tension, just feel that sudden tension rather than gradual, okay? This is where you develop power. Power has nothing to do with strength, okay? We have all seen power lifters as opposed to bodybuilders. Bodybuilders do things slowly to induce the splitting of the muscle cells so they can grow. Bodybuilders, power lifters, usually very smooth. Okay, they're big and bulky, but they have no definition. They want that sudden explosion, so they do this. Right? In real life, in reality, you cannot lift that by just using your strength and speed. And then, right? Okay? So that's called power. Strength is gradual. Power is sudden, okay? So you want a sudden explosion from an extremely relaxed state to extremely tense state. That's where power comes from, okay? So you want to go and relax. And sudden tension, yes. All right, continue. 6, good. 7, good. 8, and when you're done, yeah, you want the edge of your hand pointing down rather than to the side, because eventually it will make sense to you, okay? And 8, good. Right. Keep the hands closer, like that, right?
Elbows in, kind of.
Elbows in, right. Fingers pointing forward, right? And when you're done, your fingers pointing up, okay? And keep it straight. Right, and then bend. Straight and bend. Relax and tense. Ready? 1. Inhale. 2. Inhale. 3. Good. Maybe more sudden. 4. 5. Good. 6. Good. 7. 8. Try to look at the mirror to correct yourself. 9. Yes. Your arms are straight rather than bent. Yeah.
10. And there's a reason why you want the elbow to be straight, otherwise the power cannot be released completely. Think of power as water. Your arms are like a garden hose. If you bend the hose, the water is not coming out freely. Until you straighten it out, then it shoots out. Okay? The power, the energy is like water. Okay? In fact, the water is a constant heat in our training. So you're thinking about releasing the energy straight. Okay? And straight. Ready? 1. Relax. 2. 3. Relax. 4. Good. Relax. Yeah. Good. Make sure the edges of your hand pointing down rather than side. Okay. 6. That's it. 7. Make sure your arms are straight when you're done. And 8. Okay. This way. Okay. 9. Come back. So you're doing this. Okay. 10. Very good. Okay. This is how you're able to generate power with the smallest joint on your body. This may not seem very impressive, but you are able to use this type of energy to do damage in a close range. And our target is, it doesn't matter how slight the energy is, you know, like this is going to go out, okay? You learn to create energy when you don't have much weight. Now we're going to turn the direction into a straight forward rather than downward energy. So you do exactly the same thing. Before you were doing this. Now you're doing this. Right. You do the same thing. The stick is now in front of you rather than underneath here. Right here, we're push that away. You come back and then it comes back. You push it away. And then you come back. Okay? Right. Yeah. Okay? Relax your shoulders. Right. Ready? 1. Good. 2. 3. Good. Yeah. Come back. Relax the hand. 4. That's it. A little quicker. 5. Yes. Feel that explosion. And 6. And 7. Good. 8. 9. 10. So more steps. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. One more time. 1. Relax. Yeah. 2. Tense. Relax the hand. Fingers pointing forward. 3. Good. 4. Beautiful. 5. 6. 7. 8. Nice. 9. 10. Good. Okay, relax a little bit. You are halfway to learn the punch. Okay. Now, all you have to do is pinch the fist. Okay. So you see, they're always laugh at me and say, there's madness in your method, okay? All right? Well, no, there's method in my madness. So I gradually build to the climax, which is the punch. First, we go down, forward, and the next one is we just punch. That's all you have to do, then you punch. Right? Right, sir? Yeah, that's it. Right? See, now you're really adding that chain, another chain to your chain reaction. Okay? From the wrist to the punch. Yeah? I don't need a lot of distance. From here, I can just bring power. Okay? Very beautiful thing. Right? It's incredible. Still is incredible. And the reason we do both arms, we don't say we think that we either one. We should be able to produce the same amount of power on either side. I'm not favoring the left or the right. We always practice both sides. That's the beauty of it. If you're good at left, that's why we always practice left first. Unless the person is left-handed. Suggestion is left-handed, so we reverse and train to the right side. Yes. Okay. So we do the same thing. Okay. Here, elbow down. Okay. Now, before you clinch, I want you to push the hand out by using the elbow. So your elbow is actually projecting. It's like someone is doing this to you. Don't hold it, don't clinch yet. Just do the same thing like this, okay? But now the focus is going to shift it to the elbow. So here's the chain reaction. Elbow, extend the elbow, force the arm to clinch, then you tilt. So 1, 2. Right. And like this. You got this hand, okay, like this. Okay. Tilt. Tilt. It's from the elbow. The elbow is projecting, yes. The elbow is projecting. So most people make the mistake of using the hand to pull the arm. We are using the elbow to project the hand. Exactly. So you're not thinking about how far my hand is. Look, to most people, my distance is this. To me, this is the distance. Because this is the starting point, not here. So everybody who's unfamiliar with this method is, oh, I don't have room, so they do this. Well, when they do this is where my elbow is. So I just go like this. Just push my elbow out, your hand becomes a projectile. This is when you pull the trigger. Explode here and push the hand out. That's why the distance is the same, not with longer. Okay? So, right? So you're still doing the same thing like this, but you want to make sure you push the hands out by using your elbow. The elbow causes the arm to extend, and just before your arm comes into full extension, you tilt. So it's a trick of the wrist. So think elbows, okay? All right. Right, ready? Yeah, go in a little bit. Perfect, just like that, right? That's perfect. Good. Ready? 1. Don't clinch yet. Yeah. Just do the tilt. 2. Yes. 3. Got it. 4. 5. Project the hands out by using your elbows. 6. 7. Good. Have a breathing. 8. 9. Good. 10. Very good. The tendency for people who are, okay, just relax a little bit. For people who are not familiar with this approach is to use the body. They want to throw the body in. Right now, we're just isolating the joints. We just want to think about your elbows and your wrist. This is the first thing you learn, and also the first thing you use in a situation. In a situation where you don't have a lot of room, you cannot do this. Right? If I'm suddenly pushed against the wall, I can't do this anymore. Then you start to panic because you used to punching like this. That's okay. I still punch. I don't need a room, right? The room's square from here. Okay? Especially when you're down, someone's on top of you, trying to submit you. You don't have to say, oh, I don't have enough room because now the ground is the wall. Right? Think about I'm lying down. See? The ground is the wall is the ground. I don't have that luxury anymore. I can't clock it. So I just have to go from here. So once you're used to this type of approach, in an emergency, it just happens, okay? All right, so let's do one more time. Just feel the heart comfortably. Relax, keep the elbows in, okay? And relax the hand, because you want to create that power. It can only be achieved when you go from extremely relaxed state to extremely tense state, okay? All right, so again, you're not clinching, all you're doing is tilt, okay? Right? And leave the rest of the joints behind. Just use the elbow, so your body shouldn't shake. Just your arms, okay? Yeah. Okay. So resist the temptation to use any other part of the body. Ready? 1. Good. 2. Very good. 3. Good. Your fingers should be tensed, rigid, okay? And then relaxed. 4. Good. Okay, come back. Let's use the point. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 1. 2. 3. 4. And you come back to curve. 5. And 7. 6. Rather than this way. 7. 1. 8. Good. 9. Beautiful. 10. Very good. That's nice. Very relaxed.
See the practice?
He's been watching all the videos all the time.
Well, it is, after all, a woman's art.
It is.
Yes.
She listens. You don't like, she listens.
And also, because it came from the mind of a woman, it is more natural for a woman to stand this way and also to move a certain way. It's, and we men try to adapt to that. In the beginning, then eventually we're set free. You have to understand discipline before, so the freedom will taste sweeter. Right? Otherwise, it's chaos. Right? How we do it? Good?
Just piecing together. I lost the sequence.
Sequence is not important.
Yeah,
Pieces,
no.
the actual segments are important.
Yeah.
So you forgot this?
Yeah.
Come back. Well,
Is there a
I'll
order?
try.
Yeah.
Did I forget something? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See, this is more comfortable for her. Definitely.
It is.
Yes, very, very.
I'm
very
not used to
No.
moving back.
Yeah, but it,
How long
but,
did it take to get used to this?
A while.
Wow.
Yeah.
but
But
you know,
it's not that long. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a way to practice without seeming painful. Like, for example, if you're watching TV, rather than sitting, just stand up. Just
Yeah.
just push, watch the commercial, whatever, just stand like this. I mean, I don't want to sound be too obsessive because that's what I used to do. Before if I'm standing in line waiting for something, I just get into the stance. No one knows you're working. You're working out. You just like this. You think you're a little odd, but
Yeah.
just like this, because you can find that point. Oh, too much, too little. So you learn to adjust. So you're very comfortable. So eventually from the training stance into the fighting stance, same thing. Okay. Remember, this is the longest weapon. It's always ready. All right? So once you bend your legs, then your hips want to stay out. Right, and then right, yeah. Very good. Now I always say, Chan, it is like certain cultures, because meat is very expensive in certain cultures. So in some cultures, China for example, a poor farmer maybe get it once a year to get a pig. Okay, now that pig is consumed from the snout to the tail. Well, there's meat on it, so they figure out a way to make it tasty. That's why you have oxtail soup, you know, even the pig's blood cake, right? Okay, it may sound disgusting, but if you go to Mexico, menudo, it's all, you know, intestine, right?
When we went to the Philippines, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing because you can't afford to throw something away. I only get it once a year. I'll make sure everything is eaten, except even the bone marrow. You know, you chop the bones and cook and turn it into soup. Okay, so this is just like Wing Chun. What we're doing right now, it is not just to set the stage for something else. Something that you're doing right now is an application. Because now, imagine, again, Big Brother is telling me, hey, if you can go down, you can come up. Right? It's all wrist action, it's the wrist. Wrist action. If I go down, come up. If I can go vertical, I can go horizontal. Okay. Right, just show them this part, okay? Right, very carefully, okay? Now, do that again, do very slowly. Use it. Just the first two, okay? Just keep doing the first two. Yes, that's it. What that is from this. Up, down, left, right. Left, right. Okay. Okay. Now, of course, this is a simulation of someone's arms. Now, basically, is my arm's coming in. He's just that very small movement. Remember, all he wants to do is
Very weak compared to this.
divert the trajectory of my arm slightly away from the center line. Then he accomplishes his goal. Because he doesn't want me to be missing by a mile, just an inch or less. By gently tapping on the arm as it comes in, it's going to sense it's off course. So that's all. So if I'm going here, that's all he's doing.
Right?
He's using the small, that's all he needs. Because the closer his arm is to his own center line, the faster he can. Okay, so all he has is right? Just go right in. We are efficiency experts. Everything we do has to acknowledge simple, efficient, and direct. If you can do 2 movements, don't do 3. If you do 1, don't do 2. Okay? And that's when both arms comes in. If you can use one arm to defend, one arm to attack, and you end the fights within a second or less.
Right.
Okay? So now the tansa, remember the tansa you were practicing? And now you're practicing the punch without the clinch. So basically what you're doing into this. So all you do is, as the arm becomes straight, you tilt and clinch. You tilt and clinch. That's our signature punch. So what happens is you're making contact with the target, the bottom 3 fingers and the knuckles. Your top finger and knuckle are not involved. So when you end, it's like that. Rather than, you're risking your wrist. See, when you punch like any other way, it's not really forced.
That's why when people say, drop down and give me a knuckle push-up. Go ahead, please. Just do a knuckle push-up. Or don't even do it, just try to support your body. Show me. I will show, just humor me. You humor me? Yeah. Oh, don't do anything. Look at the shape of his fist.
It hurts.
Why don't you do it this way? See, instinctively your body knows this is the most structure. You won't injure your wrist. See, I didn't tell you to do that, but you did. Now, imagine how intelligent this woman has to be to figure this out. I didn't say anything, but you just get down doing this. No one was going to do this because you're going to break your wrist. This is the most reinforced way to throw a punch without risking injuries to your wrist. Beyond comprehension. How this woman figure this out? She must be understand psychology, physiology, body mechanics. Incredible that she figured this out. So eventually, rather than punch like this, we punch like this. You can make it. No preparation at all. Wherever your fist happen to be, you just punch. There's no setup. Fast. Very efficient. Okay? Very good. Thank you. All right? So I didn't want to show you that everything you're doing now is the application.
Yeah.
Right? So when he does this, I'm going to do a hands out. Yeah? Hands out is what you're doing, just adding a strike. Right? And that was not a dummy. She said, this is a hard wood. I don't want to use my fist. Strike. Yeah. Most efficient. Less chance of injury to yourself. Plus, because this is naturally hard. You don't need to train it. Sometimes you see.
He used to say, to be nice. That's not being nice.
It is to be nice. You can be nice.
It can be nice, yeah.
You can be nice, but it can be deadly. Because this is naturally hard, because it has less nerve ending, just like the elbows. You don't need to train it. But sometimes you see some karate masters, they have calluses upon calluses on their knuckles. And they couldn't even hold a pen. Because it was so damaged from hitting hard objects over the years, right? They're very powerful, they can kill you with a punch, but they can't even write their own name. Now we want to be very supple, just like a woman's hand, yet deadly.
Yeah.
Okay? So you don't need to set aside time to train, to harden the knuckle. You use the time to train our footwork, our skills. It's called training intelligently. While you're doing those hardened drills, you are conditioning the arms. We don't do this just to condition. We say, don't waste time. Why are you doing this? You are conditioning while learning some skills. Okay? That's using your time intelligently rather than conditioning time, training time. Combined. Very, very efficient way to train. Makes us really appreciate the nun. All right, very good. And when someone does something, it looks easy, doesn't mean it looks simple, but it's really not easy to do, right? Because this is not how we normally do. We don't train like this. So I say, Wing Chun, or any martial arts, is about turning your natural instincts into training responses. If someone throws something at you, your natural response is to cover up. That's natural. The training response is to knock it off. That's training. That's the natural response. We say, okay?
Why waste it?
Exactly. That needs to be trained psychologically and physically. Now I will use an example. I live in the downstairs of a 3-story building, right? There's the person on the 3rd floor, she has a flower pot sitting on the edge of a low wall, right? She's trying to water it and then it fell. I was leaving the building, come right at me. She said, look out. I don't go like this, go. Better yet, I go. That's training. So you don't have just repetition in a structured and easy to understand way to train your body to react a certain way. All right. Hopefully it makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah. Always think about meaning and relax and tense. Relax and tense. Relaxing, yeah. Power only comes from extreme state from one to the other. My fingers are already pointing the target. Right? So all I have to do is go straight. Okay. So this is, if your setup is right, your payoff is great. Right? Yeah. So your weapons are always trained on the target. So your hands is limp, relax, and then rigid. Limp, rigid. Good. Close it, Go forward, push forward, yeah. Yes. So you see the line going this way, rather than downward.
Straight up.
Straight forward, yeah, to the front. Yes. As if you're pushing someone, yes. Yes, just like that. Okay, relax and tense. Relax. Tense. Relax. Tense. Relax. Tense. Because you wouldn't push someone down like this. Right? Like this. Yeah, this is exactly the same. It's sudden. Okay? And add the breathing. Yes, good. And inhale. Exhale and inhale. Good. Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Keep bringing it too far in.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Right. Good. Good. Forward rather than we're still going down a little bit. Yes. Chest level. Yes. Make sure the edges of your hand foot forward rather than sideways. Because eventually when you clinch, you don't want the punch to be like this. You push out this way, then the punch is like this. You push out this way, the punch is like this. Yes. Good. The pitfall is this, okay? This is what you don't want to do. And I see sometimes people do this like this. You don't want the balance. Because all you're doing is clinching. The line is still going forward. It doesn't bounce up. Right. So you don't want to go like this, okay? Just all you're doing is, as you tilt, you clinch. Like this. Tilt, clinch. Right. Right. Yeah.
I'm almost there.
All right.
Here's where I'm at. Let's check it out. Let's see,
Huh? Yes. That's it. Awesome. And kick. Yes.
That's where
Yeah. And left, right foot. And yes. All right.
Nice.
Something is pushing people like that.
That's it. Okay. All you have to do is lock the thumb down a little more. Right there. That's it. That's it. course, the tendency for people is to overdo it, just like that.
Oh, just-
Yeah, this, yeah. Okay. Ready? Aaron, you're not pointing. Fingers out like this. Because that's what your intention is. And going towards him, right? Not each other, okay? Go. Because this is how you do it without thinking, right? All you do is add it. You're not doing anything different with your hand, just thinking. Nothing. Okay? Now remember this shape, so you want to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nailed it, huh? Nailed it, huh?
Yeah.
Make sure your arms are straight.
Just with the concepts, you can start to piece together where you're how to get to the other side. Third form, second form, everything works that way. You just have to think.
Exactly. It's, once you get it, it's like easy. The only reason we want to keep our arms together is because you're close to the center line. That's all. When you do it single-handed, you will be attacking from your center line.
To their side.
Yes, that's why you want to far apart. You want to get to the point that it's closer, not together, because then you're fighting each other, right? Right. Okay, so let's do single hand only, okay? Since you're both right-handed, we'll train the left hand first. First, let me introduce a concept of guarding, okay? When you use one hand to guard, it's called wusa, okay? This is just Cantonese pronunciation, that's all, okay, wusa. Wu is just to guard, that's all, to guard. The guarding hand, okay? The guarding hand came from the Buddhist temple. Praying hand. Pay homage. That's all. So in the old days, when a monk traveled, usually, he has his prayer beads dangling from one arm like this, and a weapon of choice together. Okay? Or a bow. Okay? For bathing food. So it depends on either a warrior monk or he's a scholar monk. So their equipment is different. So they all have left hand this way. That came from the Shaolin temple because she was a nun. So this is located right on your center line and about a fist away, a horizontal fist away. If this way is too close, this is your buffer zone. Allows you to react. Reaction time. Too close, right? So you want to be out. A little bit like this, okay? And if you look in the mirror, this arm is not this way, but right here. See, there's a slight slant. And it's right around your solar plexus. Yes, right there. Okay, you can always look. No, see, that's too much. That's too little. You don't want your elbow or your arm, any part of your arm, touching your body. Yes. Okay. And you don't artificially try to lift your arm like that. Just let it drop like this. So this is called wusa. Okay? So we're going to practice the punch from the wusa position. And you already know the sequence. So all you do is this. One, like you did before, right? You know this? Right? Okay. From here. And from the elbow push the hand out. As the arm becomes, just before the arm becomes fully extended, you tilt and clench. Right. Because remember the way it is, right? You're doing single-handed. Right, just from the wusa position. But it's the same thing, it's like this. So if I were to do double-handed like this, eventually come back to wusa. So after you punch, come back, it will circle away into wusa position. Okay? Forward, down, curved line, back to wusa. And you set up, right? Punch,
come back. And one, punch until you tilt more. Yes, that's the end part, okay? And come back. Just do it 10 times, okay? One, tilt. You clinch it as you tilt, okay? Two. Okay, you bounce just a tad, okay? Just a little bit down. Remember, it's going forward. Three. Okay. Tilt a little more down. Right. Four. Yes. Five. Back. Six. Take your time, take your time. And come back. 7. Yes, total, just a little more. 8. Yes. 9. 10. Good. And you still bounce a little bit, it's okay. All you have to do is think, there's a fly. Don't begin to sound like Mr. Miyagi. Okay, just imagine there's a fly hovering right here in place. He's not going anywhere. You're just catching it. No, catch like this. Right. Catch and release. And catch again. Releases. Go back to where it is to catch. This allows you not to bounce like because now you missed it. It's right here. You just catch. Okay? Right, very good. Just from the elbow. Elbow triggers the action. Elbow makes the arm extend just before full extension, tilt and clinch. So that's a chain reaction. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. But the 2 and 3 are together like this. Like this. Okay?
Gotta practice.
Oh, that's what Kung Fu is.
That's right.
Kung Fu is about time and effort. Good job, good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Hopefully it's not too boring.
No.
It's a real pleasure.
Thank you.
And it's gonna be fun having you guys, different sizes, different, yeah, to practice with, different shapes, different sizes. Interesting to see a woman do a woman's art, right? But we've had a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they come and go, or just, you know,
Well,
kind of-
It's been around for
I
a
don't
long
need
time.
to make past judgments, but most of the time, women don't come to Wing Chun because, if I want to defeat men, I gotta learn men's art.
Hi,
How is everything?
good. I texted you twice, but you were
Oh,
probably
yeah.
busy.
My wife's Susan.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm in.
Aaron?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
You too.
I had a work event, so
Oh, that's why
There's
I'm
you're
late tonight.
It's nice they're second. They're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoying?
She's doing better than I am.
Hopefully it's enjoyable.
Very good, yes, yes.
That's how you women usually sound like that.
Well, usually on Tuesday, Thursday, she goes to Zumba, but tonight I had to work, so.
Oh.
yeah.
Much leave?
Does this.
You're working at
Oh.
I work at CSUN.
See
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Right on.
Cool.
Were you students there or something?
I went for a very short time.
Oh,
and then I got distracted.
Hey, have some
I know.
Life happens.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal this then.
Absolutely. Good for you. Yes.
Thank you.
Drive
very much.
safely. Have a great weekend.
Nice to meet you
Nice meeting you,
guys.
Susan. We'll
Yes,
see you
have a
later
good
too.
weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Drive safely.
will.
Good night.
Bye, Justin.
Good night.
All right, Justin. I'll see you. See you Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
It ran a little bit long.
Did you have fun? I
I
think
did
you
actually
started.
have fun. I wasn't bad.
It's okay, I was too. I had dates, I had those bars, I threw them.
I was worse. Because apparently they had some food in there in the beginning. But I was outside, right? Because I had a
Right, you
meet
can't-
the official, so I never even saw that. And then by the time I went in, they had taken the food in, and then I went in for the program. And then I got out of the program, and they had brought out the desserts.
Right.
Oh